Dudes saying they got their pass. Dudes saying they got their passport and they about to go overseas to find their wife, and you see they have the initials SYSBM in their bio, which is short for Save Yourself Black Man. Those dudes are tricks. These dudes have a firm understanding that they're so socially awkward and so socially inept that they need to pay to have access to coochie. Thing is, they're so broke that they can't afford the cost of women, sex workers here in the United States. So these dudes with warehouse jobs, these the type of Negroes that work on the line up there in Detroit in the car plants, they take their little 35, 40K overseas because it stretches longer.
Talking about how they are sick of women in America and how they're going to get their passports and go overseas and find them a wife. When the truth of the matter is, you don't want a wife. You want a slave. You want a maid. You want a personal assistant. These women are in dire financial need. And it sickens me that you get online and vocalize and brag about getting your passports and going to these countries with these to get a wife who needs a green card to escape extreme poverty. Whether you pay her family, whether you pay her, no matter what the circumstance is, she is in a dire situation. How dare you capitalize off of the fact that this woman just wants to live and thrive financially. And then you call it a marriage. That's not marriage. It's modern day slavery, and I think that it's sick. I think that it's disgusting, and all you're really doing is sifting yourself from the real divine masculines and alpha males. Because when they walk in the room, we know it. You know why? Because we feel safe. And we're not safe with you. And we know it, and that's why we're disrespectful to you. That's why we don't like you, and that's why we don't give a damn that you're going to another country to find a wife. And while you're there, get the help you need to heal your inner child, because we know that you're unhealed, that you are narcissistic, and that you're a toxic person. So while you're spending your money on your new bride, be sure to get the help that you need to. We ain't mad. We don't want you. We see you. You're not a divine masculine. We ain't mad.
And I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.
Yo! It's official. Like a referee with a whistle. Like, share the video and all that good stuff. You know? You know, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in this crazy world we live in. Because we're in the wild, wild west. The wild, wild west, you know. But hey, you know, we're going to do like we always do over here. We're going to talk that talk, and we're going to go out and make it happen. We action takers over here. We action takers, money makers, record breakers. That's what we are over here. I don't know, but no other place. That's how we get down over here. We're known to be pioneer doers over here. That's how we get down. We set the trends. Trendsetters, maybe. That's how we get down over here. That's our reputation. And it's gonna be like that until the day that I die. Gotta represent. Gotta represent, man. If you don't represent, nobody else is gonna do it for you. You know? Represent. You gotta represent. Represent. Gotta represent. Chase some checks. Gotta chase some checks. You know, that's how we get down over here. Well, hey, man, you know, I had another, this is like a continuation from last night, basically. You know, who's your role model? Who's your role model? This is like a continuation from the Kanye video and last night. Who's your role model? Who raised you? Why do you think the way you do? How'd you become the man or the woman that you've become? And are you even happy with who you have become? Are you happy with your life as is today? That's a question you have to answer. And it's not your fault. You know, we don't get to pick our parents. We can't raise ourselves. You know, now some of us has made things much harder, much more difficult for ourselves because we made too many bad decisions, you know. And like I said, we don't get to pick our parents. And our parents, well, I'm not talking about my parents, but your parents, more than likely, is part of your problem if you don't like how things turned out for you, because they raised you, they, you know, to the best of their ability. I would like to think so. You know, you might disagree with that. You might say, hey, my mom wasn't shit. Or my dad wasn't shit. And that could be true. You know, you might came from a home where the shit was broken. Or maybe you didn't have the best relationship with your parents. Or maybe you were neglected. Maybe you didn't see your parents very often. It happens. You know, maybe your parents were out in them streets when you were growing up. And you felt neglected. And as you got older, as an adult, you have relationship problems. And you don't even get in no serious relationship because you think that the person's going to leave you if you get serious with them, just like your parents did. Left. Came back when they wanted to come back. So you have triggers from your childhood that's still playing in your adulthood. It happens. There's a lot of people out here like that. Right? The record is the story keeps going. You know, they had, you know, issues with their parents growing up, abandonment issues, and it's still playing in their minds right now, still to this day. And part of the reason why you are where you are, your parents had a lot to do with it. But let me tell you, the crazy thing is, though, there's people that know their parents wasn't worth a damn, at least one of them, but they still listen to them. Now, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know, for God's sake, if you know better and you still don't do better, that makes you stupid. That doesn't make you smart. That makes you stupid. If you know better and still keep doing the same shit over and over. Now, some people say, oh, that's insanity. No, I don't know. But that's, to me, that's just stupid, in my opinion. You know, but maybe it's because the reason why I see it that way is because I love myself so much. Nobody loves me more than me. So in my mind, I would never do such a thing. I would never know better and do the opposite. I would never do that shit to this day. I didn't even do that when I was in my 20s. I didn't even do that shit. I mean, most of my mistakes came about because I just didn't know. I just didn't know any better. I didn't have the right information at the time to make the best decision. But not knowing is one thing. But if you do know and you still decide to do what's not in your best interest, that's some other shit. You need some professional help when it gets down to on that level, boy. I'm telling you, you know. But there's people out here that were raised by people that's just like that. And it's always, keep in mind, your parents can't teach you what they don't know. They can't. Which is part of the reason why you think the way you do. And, you know, and a lot of times bad programming. You know, it's like, this is why sometimes in order for you to break the cycle or break bad habits or cut them damn chains that's holding you back, a lot of times you're going to have to leave. Move away. Get away from your family. The shit rubs off, man. I'm telling you, that bad programming, that poverty, that them bad habits, that shit rubs off, man. I'm telling you. You know, it's like I'm gonna say most people gonna have to leave their family and move someplace else and get around people that's completely different, that see things different, see the world different. Most people gonna have to do that. I had to do that when I was in my 20s. I had to do that. And it's not because my parents weren't shit or my family weren't shit. That wasn't the reason at all. It was because the people around my family weren't shit. That was the problem. You know, because anything I did, my family, they always supported. They didn't say anything negative. You know, most of the time, shit, they didn't even know what to say. And still to this day, they don't know what to say. They just, oh, good job. I don't know much about it, but seems positive. So they don't really know what to say. But, you know, they see the finished product, the end product. So they'll compliment me on that. But they don't really know they don't know the details. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really have much to say. And that's okay. I ain't got a problem with that. I ain't got a problem with that. You know, what I got a problem with is when people say negative shit. That's shit I don't like. I don't like when people say negative shit. Try to put you down, try to discourage you, get you to change your mind and put you back in your place. And that's what I got a problem with. And that's what holds most people back, because most people, what other people say or think about them is much more important than how they feel about themselves. That's the problem most people have. See, I got past that a long time ago. What people say and think about me today, it's not that important versus how I feel about myself. I got past that shit a long time ago, like 20 years ago. Because it's my life. Everyone has to live their own life. And nobody's going to live your life for you, just like nobody's going to live my life for me. So once you put things in perspective and you be like, you look at the person that's talking, the messenger, and I always ask, do I want to live this person's life? Would I change places with them if I could? And if the answer is no, well, I don't even make nothing out of what they're talking about. I tune them out. I keep them moving. Because it doesn't matter. And I always say, if I won't switch places with this person, if I could, I won't take advice from them. I won't take them serious, because they looking at it. If they say something negative, they're basically projecting their own insecurities, because they think, oh, I can't do it or won't do it, or maybe I'm supposed to be doing it and you're not supposed to be doing it because I'm smarter than you. So it's that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, a lot of people be hating. A lot of times, your relatives be hating. Probably your own sisters and brothers be hating. Your cousins, they might be hating on you secretly. They compete. Instead of trying to build with you or support you, they're trying to compete against you secretly. That's why every time you try to do anything positive, trying to take care of you and your family, or trying to break that poverty, or maybe you want to get out of that working class. That's my goal, is to get out of the working class. I call it the working class trap. Get out of that getting paid hourly. I want to get out of that shit. I don't want to, have to work a job. I mean, if I want to work a job, I want to work a job because I want to, not because I have to. And I don't want to have to think about money. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. I want to break that whole cycle. I want to break that shit. I don't want to have to get up and worry about the bills. That's probably the only goal I have left in life, is not to have to worry about money. I want to be able to go to the store and just pick up the shit without looking at the price. Yeah, I just want to be able to go to any store, any restaurant, and just order what I want without looking at the price. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been to restaurants and I knew the shit was expensive before I got there. So it wasn't a big deal. But I'm talking like, I want to be able to do that in any environment. Stores, restaurants, hotels, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's the level that I want to get to. You know, I know people that's like that. I know people that, you know, they go shopping in Beverly Hills or Hollywood somewhere or Hawaii or New York City. They just go in the damn store and just pick up what they want and put it on the damn counter and pay for the shit. And don't even look at the price. I know people that's like that. I was hanging out with people like that last weekend in Florida. I know people that's like that. I met new people that were like that. And I met people like, 30, 40 years ago that was like that as well. You know, where it's like money ain't a thing. It's not a big deal. There's so much coming in and shit. They don't gotta worry about it. They don't gotta look at the price or look at the price on the damn menu or hotel price is not a big deal. $300-$400 a night, $500 a night, whatever. It's not a big deal. You know? And I'm not saying that I would do that all the time. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is I don't want to have to think about it. You know, I don't have to think about, it's okay to have a budget, but I don't want to be like one of those people maybe paper pension, you know? I mean, yeah, that's the only goal I have left in life is to break that working class trap. That's what I call it. You know, you can't get rich. Well, hold up. I would say if you're trying to get rich, it's going to be damn near impossible at most jobs. You know, now you might make a good salary at a lot of jobs, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's like a cap. It's like an invisible cap. You ain't gonna be able to make but so much money unless you're into sales or some type of maybe you're in finance, or of course if you're an executive or something like that, or high level management or something like that. But other than that, you know, if you're like a lower level employee, look, they're always gonna bird feed you at the bottom. You know, that's just how because a lot of these companies, they're not really set up for you to make a lot of money. It's really set up for you to make just enough money so you can sit down and shut up and keep coming back and don't quit and complain. God knows don't complain. Oh, if you complain, then you become a problem, man. Depending on who you are, you know. See, over the years, I've learned that the more financial opportunities I've gotten, the more freedom I have, and the more time I have to spend with the people that I care about, just like being around the most. You know? But if you pushing and grunting, if your finances is out of whack, if you overspent, if you're playing catch up, that's not living. That's surviving. Pushing and grunting. You know? And see, your parents didn't teach you about money because they more than likely they didn't know about it. If they didn't teach you about it, they didn't know about it. And if they did teach you something about money, 9 times out of 10 it was the wrong shit. It was the wrong shit, man. You know, and they don't teach them. They don't teach us about money in school. You know that. Yeah, they'll take. You might take some economics class. That shit ain't got nothing to do with no money. They just talking some broad topics about how the economy and the is run and all type of bullshit. And they start talking about history. Man, that's how the hell that's gonna help me? Talking about world history between the banks and the economy in the countries and trading. How the hell that's gonna help me live my life? I mean, come on, man. This is bullshit. None of them classes don't help, man. You know, as a matter of fact, if I go back and if I think about it, none of my classes, no, I'm not gonna say none. I'd say a good 95% of the classes I took in college, them shits is useless today. Them shits is useless. 95% of classes I took in college. I'm talking about all the colleges I went to. They're all useless. The only thing that I use is, for the most part, like web design, programming. That stuff is useful. You know, in the heck, that's about it. Everything else I've learned outside of institutions. And that has helped me make more money outside of a traditional job than anything. I mean, as a matter of fact, you probably heard me say this shit before. If I didn't reach out to people back in the day, and if I didn't have the desire or the drive to learn more and do more, man, I probably would have been homeless somewhere. Because I could never, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I could never make enough money on them damn jobs. You know, to pay, I could barely make rent on some of these damn jobs I had. Damn. I mean, I don't look at the prices. Look at the prices today. The prices today has went up compared to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. I don't know how anybody survive on one income today. I mean, I know how they do it, but I mean, they just stay home a lot and pay as much bills as they can, and when they can't pay, they just behind. I know how to do it because I was that guy, you know, and see, and they put a lot of shit on credit cards, but check this out. 15, 20 years ago, my credit was so fucked up, I couldn't get a credit card. So every time I had to pay for something, I had to have cash. And I was like that for 10 years. Cash only. That's how bad my credit was. I couldn't even get a credit card. I was cash only for 10 years straight. So in other words, if I didn't have the money, I didn't buy that shit. That goes for anything. You name it. It was cash on. I had to get the cash. Wherever it was. It doesn't matter how much it was. You know? So by the time I got my credit in good standings, I was in cash mode ever since. So I've been in cash mode for 25 years. I mean, the only time I use my credit card is, I don't know, if I need to, don't have cash, or I'm out of town or some shit like that. You know, or if they threaten, if I get a letter, I got a letter a couple weeks ago that said, if you don't use your credit card, we're going to close your account. Because I ain't used the shit. I ain't used it since I had it. And I had one credit card for a year and a half. I ain't never used it. So they was like, hey, if you don't use it, we're going to close your account. So that's when I used it. You know, but it wasn't for that, I probably still wouldn't have used it. You know, but I said I was going to start using it for, like, you know, business wise. I was going to start using it, you know, because I just never used it before. And I was like, yo, it's a business credit card for a reason. So, hey, it's all good, you know. But yeah, you know. So you taking call? Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here. Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in here, man. Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that we just weren't taught. The people that raised us didn't know. And we know that there's disadvantages, and we know there's, you know, redlining and all kind of bullshit out here. I'm not disregarding that. Trust me, I know, you know. But I tell you what, we have more access today than my parents did, or probably your parents did. There wasn't no internet when my parents were growing up. You know? What's up, buddy?
Yo, Sharp. Can't talk real long, but when you mentioned number one college, I was pretty much the same way. I probably got 5% out of whatever I learned to use it in the real world. Most of the classes are there to basically single out or weed out the individuals that really don't want to get into certain fields. You know what I mean? It's like it's just there to just see if you're really interested in it. Just to weed everybody out, to thin the herd. Basically, you got to go to college for something like a trade, something like a skill, because most of the classes are just there, like I said, to thin the herd. It's not really anything you can use out in the real world.
Nah, man, but you know, there's people go to college for different reasons. Some go for education, some go for a husband, some go for, you know, whatever. You know,
Some are professional students too. You know what I mean? I've seen some of those that live basically on the college because the parents or somebody in the family is paying for it. That's how they get. You know, like you said, probably looking for a husband or a wife. You know what I mean? So it just, to me, school is a racket too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like credit card. You said for 10 years you didn't have a credit card. That was good because the system's made to keep you in debt. It's not made to get you out of it.
Exactly.
So a lot of folks run to credit cards and stuff, and we know stories of guys who got so much in debt of a house, boat, car, they blew their own heads off because they were just living on debt.
And you know, I was talking to somebody about that today. You have people that will kill themselves because they ran out of money. I'm like, bro. Or they'll kill themselves because of their reputation has been destroyed.
That's
Like,
why the image they were creating got shattered. And when they ran out of the credit or the credit card company calls, and now they're taking everything from them. Remember, they made this image to everybody, even themselves. So without that image for the ego to stand on, they just killed themselves.
yo, that's to me, that's the craziest shit ever.
But like you said, some of my parents didn't teach us better. Some of them guys just the same way. They watch folks live on credit and they took it to the extreme. Okay, I never have to pay it back. I never have to be responsible. I'll just live on credit. And then when it gets too much for them, a lot of them didn't have the tools in order to understand what they were doing in the first place. Just give up the house. You got your life. You can get it back later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you know, if you think so, what other people think about them is much better than what they think about themselves. So I can't take it no more, you know.
Well, it's that, and it's like these guys on like jobs. You know, they'll get a job where they know they're not qualified for. They either kiss butt or scam to get the position, and they're always looking for a way to knock you down because they're trying to put the focus on you instead of them. Because it's almost like they're afraid to breathe. They're going to get caught.
Yeah, and the thing that I think probably one of the biggest thing I learned is a lot of people that have money, they use debt to make money. Now, when I was in my 20s, I thought that shit was absurd. I thought that was crazy. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, I used the fucking credit card or the loan to have money coming every month. I'm like, huh? And I kind of ignored the shit until like 10 years went by, and then that's when I understood what he was saying at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I met somebody else that said the same thing that the other dude was saying 10 years ago. Then I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? Because before that, most people, when they get the credit cards or any line of credit, they'll just start buying shit.
Yep.
Stupid shit. Like cars, clothes, jewelry, the same bullshit, and ain't no money coming in.
Because it's that image, man. It's like, I hate to say this, man. It's like a form of self-hatred. They hate themselves so much, they got to do something to make an image of themselves higher than they are. And they fall for their own con. That's the sad part. They'll believe they're this great person when they're in debt because of all the stuff they have. But when reality hits them, they just can't take it.
Exactly. I'm like, yo. And the shit ain't funny, but
it ain't funny, but it's real.
Yeah, but I just can't wrap my mind around. If it's so bad, just go back home. Well, you can't.
You just hit a main point. Number one, a lot of us don't have a home to go back to. We can't go back to family or parents. You're out here on your own.
Yeah.
And number two, here's a big thing. Pride always comes before a fall.
Yep.
A lot of guys put themselves out. Women put themselves out to get this big house or car, get this guy or do whatever, and they're showing off to a family that I'm better than you.
Yep.
And God forbid they fall and go back home because in their minds, now they got to face their real reality of, oh, I'm just like them, but I never wanted to be that way.
Yeah, and man, I know some guys personally that got with women. Some even got married to them, and or maybe they were living together or whatever, and they just started doing shit that they would have never done. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? They start buying the wife a car, jewelry, and doing things that he can't handle. He done took on too much responsibility. And now he out in them streets hustling, risking his freedom, basically. And then one of my homeboys, he ended up getting locked up in Miami years ago. And he did 7 years. And when he got out, the girl was gone.
But the reason that happens, from what I've observed, even I fell for this. I did not love myself, but
Yeah.
I was never taught to. A lot of us guys grew up in a single parent household. We were trained to be codependent. We were trained to put others first because we always see mom first. Oh, you got to help sacrifice family, help out with the bills early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there was no man to teach you, put yourself first. You are responsible for you, number one, nobody else. When it's time for you to move out, you got to put yourself first, so you'll have a foundation, so you can then have somebody else, like a woman or other family, to help you. You can help them out there. Without that foundation, you're just gonna crumble. And a lot of guys think, okay, I'll get the woman, I'll get the house. Okay, I got to hustle now, I get the beautiful woman. But in truth, you only got that woman because the way she looked made you feel better about yourself. You did not love yourself, period. Because if you did, like me, even though she's fine as wine, there were signs saying you shouldn't be with this woman, but you overlooked them because your self-esteem now comes with, while you're walking to the mall, guys are turning their heads like, damn. And that made me feel like I'm on cloud nine. But that was a false image because it didn't last.
Yep. Yeah, man, it's like when you start, I always say a lot of people don't like this shit. I always say, man, once you start doing things just because a woman wants you to do it, or you think she wants you to do it, or if you let her lead you, if you let a woman tell you how to lead, it always goes downhill.
Yes. Yes.
You talk about a recipe for a disaster. Oh, man.
Yes. Because somewhere you neglected who you truly are for somebody else, and nobody respects somebody who gives up themselves for you. I hate to say it, this whole self-sacrifice thing is in the movies, man. You watch movies, they all do that, yeah. But in real life, if you don't stand for what you believe in, okay, nobody's going to respect you because they're always going to know, they're going to bend over at some point. So it doesn't matter what they say or do, they don't have a leg to stand on.
Exactly, man. And you know what else is crazy that I see today? You have a lot of women that some of them in corporate. They speak in like corporate events or whatever. Mm-hmm. They're telling mostly men in the audience how to lead, how to be a good leader. I'm like, what? Are you serious?
Because those women grew up in a home more than likely without a man, and they're fantasizing about what they think in their minds a man should be. But unfortunately, how do I say this? Okay, if you never, okay, there's a difference between steak, okay, and ground beef, right?
Yep.
If you never tasted steak, okay, you cannot tell me how to prepare food, a steak. If you only had ground beef, you can only tell me about ground beef. Water seeks its own level. So the problem with a lot of these women, they're confused with thinking just because they're in this position that society gives them that normally goes to men, they really believe in their head they're a man. They think they know how a man feels, acts, all this stuff, but it's not real. You're only seeing through the eyes of a woman how you want a man to act. But being a man is deeper than acting. It's a foundation, it's something you live by every day. And these women don't even themselves know how to be a woman, because that's why some of them in their 40s go through depression, because they realize, oh, I gave up my, wanting kids or the house and be a wife, you know what I mean, for this false sense of power that I end up getting fired over or pushed back in the company.
Yeah, man. Once the average woman today, now Big Mama was different. We understand this, but the average woman today don't know nothing about a man.
No, because they never had one themselves. So they're relying on TV. We got all this information now. Cell phone showing men supposed to do this. You're supposed to have money. That's not a man. Man makes money.
Yeah,
The decisions and the choices you make in your life help create money, but that's the end result. Being a man is different. It's the one who can go out and create things for himself.
exactly. And this is why a lot of times, a lot of guys, they think that a woman knows what she's doing once she starts coming around him. But I'm like, no, you have to tell her what to do most of the time, bro.
Yeah, you have to give her direction. I hate to say this.
Yeah.
Most women have no idea what they're doing. They don't. And actually, they're looking for a man to give them direction. Now, there's some women that go to the extreme that want you to put their hand on them. You leave them alone, because I'm telling
Yeah.
you wind up
Yeah.
in jail. But in society, we're the ones that are supposed to have the guiding light.
Yeah. And I think every guy has been guilty for doing that. Even me. I just assume that, hey, she's 25, she should know. But no, she know now. She knows what she did with the last guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more than likely, I won't like that shit, whatever it is.
Yeah. But that's a thinking of a 25-year-old. You see what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
have to eventually think higher to move up in life. Because it's like saying, in the sixth grade, I made straight A's, but you're 17. It's like, come on. After a while, you got to move up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is why there's a guy, I'm not gonna say his name. There's a guy on YouTube, young guy. I got a bunch of views, but he keeps talking about how he don't talk to American women, and he went to Brazil, and now he's in Thailand. And I think it was like 2 weeks ago. He talked that shit like, hey, American women this, American women that.
Is there a brother on YouTube now?
Yeah, this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but I saw his mom. He had his mom in the video. And when I saw his mom, that told me everything I needed to know about him.
Yeah. No, I mean, is he in Thailand now, or is he?
Yeah, he's in Thailand right now.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I saw his mom in the video. That showed me everything I needed to know about him.
Yeah,
I
he
said,
hates his mom.
"That's
He
your
hates his mom.
mom?" I used to knock them down all the time. So where your dad at?
Exactly. Or better yet, what did he see growing up?
Yeah, that's your mom. That's who raised you. Oh God, that's why you talk like that.
May I ask, is he in like Pattaya?
Yeah,
Exactly. That's the familiar hood. He's used to that energy, that hood. You know what I mean? That hood ratchet type women. He
yeah,
ain't going to like a regular place in Thailand that's has temples or museums to meet women because he couldn't handle them or wouldn't know what to do.
probably not. You know, but man, we don't get to pick our parents.
No, no.
Unfortunately,
But
you know what I'm
but
saying,
at some point you got to look in the mirror and say, "The hell with this."
yeah,
Go out, get the tools for yourself by any means necessary because you can't keep staying in a toxic environment and blaming others. You got to look in the mirror eventually to say, you know what, I'm out.
yeah, and that's probably why he left.
Yeah,
You know, probably why he left. Who knows?
it's probably why he's not attracted to American women too.
Yeah, that too.
That's just, I mean, it's just like me. I will not date a Jamaican woman. I grew
Mhm.
up Jamaican culture. My mom Jamaican. I've been there plenty of times. My ex-wife is Jamaican, but I won't do it.
Oh, girl, I used to have a Jamaican girlfriend.
No. I'm sure
I
she
was
went through hell.
I was very close to getting married to her. The only problem was the dad was in the way, man.
Hmm.
The dad was in the way. He was a cool dude, mutual respect and everything. But the dad, he called the shots
Yeah,
in the family.
yeah. And he eventually he was trying to see, were you going to be the same way for his daughter? That's why he kept doing what he was doing. He wanted to make sure you weren't a pushover in his mind.
Well, I think he knew that, but I mean, it's like they ended up moving. He worked for the airlines at the time, and so they ended up moving to Columbia, South Carolina. So when he moved, everybody go. So I say,
Yeah,
oh, okay, shit, that's how it is. So once that happened, eventually I was like, well, this shit is gonna end at some point. You know what I'm saying? This reality. And that's what happened, you know? So, it's like, even if I'm seeing him right now, it's respect. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I wasn't going I'm my own man. I'm not gonna let him tell me that, hey, if you're gonna be a part of this family, you got to roll with the train. No,
yeah,
no, no, no. She found another guy. She got married to another guy. He's that type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But that's not me. You know, that's not me. I'm not that type of guy where just I'm not the go along, get along type of guy.
See, I had to learn to be that way myself. I had to learn in life that's the only way for you to put yourself first. Because if you don't, you're gonna miss out on things that the universe has planned for you.
Yeah, you know, that's how it is. But and plus a lot of times if you don't go along, get along in certain environments, you can be the problem,
Yeah,
become the problem. That's
yeah,
you know, and I was like, hey, that's okay. I
yeah.
don't, you know, I don't have to stay here.
See, because I learned this at like 35, man. Like sometime in life, you have this crossroads, right?
Yeah.
and you don't know where, like, it's either go left or right. And I learned in life, don't go left, don't go right, go up. Just drop both decisions and go a different route. You don't gotta go. You know what I mean? Whatever's in front of you, there's always another way. You just can't see it.
Exactly. So I'm gonna let you go, brother. Thanks for coming
All
on.
right. All right, Sharp. Take care.
Peace. Yep. Like, share the video, all that good stuff, man. So I've been on here almost an hour. Anyone else want to come on, man? Anyone else want to come on? You can. But, whenever you have a woman telling you how to be a leader or upgrade your leadership skills, like we have today in North America, it's over. Just socially speaking. A woman can't tell a man how to lead. That's impossible. Yeah, she can read a couple books or get some advice from another man, but being a leader is much deeper than information. Being a leader takes heart, courage, balls, kahunas. It takes being fearless. A woman can't give you that. A woman can't make you feel that. If that door fly open in your house or your apartment, a woman can't relate. A woman is not going to jump up and protect the household if someone kick her door in. It's much deeper than just reading a book. Reading a book, information, that's a good start. But having the heart, the mental capacity, being fearless, having the balls, the spine, the gumption. Oh, you can't get that from a woman. No. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Nah. Salute my brothers. If people know better, they would do better. Keep it real. I used to say that, Alvin. Some people know better and they still don't do better. So that's not always true for a lot of people. Some people are I don't know. They have low self-esteem or stupid or semi-retarded, whatever you want to call them, man. I've talked to some people and they knew they were going to get played. They knew they were getting taken advantage of. But they still went along with the shit anyway. They still went along with the fuckery anyway. So just because somebody know better, that don't mean they're going to do better. A lot of that comes down to self-love. And nobody loves me as much as me. Nobody loves me as much as me, man. I don't give a damn how much some woman says, "Oh, I love you so much." You don't love me as much as me. Uh-uh. I'm out. Peace.
Alright, 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 alright. Just got the call, it's going down tonight. It's a lot of goodbyes here tonight. But then I saw the sky and that I like. Here from Cali, I live in the valley.